So you never know what's going to happen on live TV, and today our commercials aren't wanting to play just yet, so we get to see Ted a little bit early as we just keep rolling right along a commercial-free Monday so far. We'll see what happens. And Ted, today really is quite something. It's warm out there.
It is. It's warming very quickly. This morning it was rather blustery, rather breezy, very chilly initially. We had wind chills barely above freezing just before sunrise, but since then the winds have picked up slightly more and the temperature has jumped about 20 degrees. So here we are in the low and mid 60s already at this hour, enjoying an afternoon filled with abundant sunshine. Not a cloud has been seen all day. And what a beautiful looking day. Just a little, a lot of shake to those trees out there with all the wind. And that is going to be the story of the rest of the afternoon. Very windy, rather mild as we look outside now with some of the wind gusts this hour. 45-mile-per-hour gusts, the strongest wind gust in about a week or even more than that. Certainly since the beginning of the month. Over the weekend, the peak wind gust of the previous 3 entire days, 18 miles per hour. That's the peak gust. The average wind speed was less than 10 miles per hour. We've had very tranquil weather, certainly for October standards over the last 3 days, even if temperatures haven't been particularly warm. But again, we take that situation because it was nice to have a lack of wind. Now today, a little warmer, but here comes the wind, and I have to deal with that at least for today. 32-mile-per-hour gust right now in Austin. Mason City, 38 miles per hour. Winona, 24 miles per hour. 61 right now in the Med City as we look outside with our Lewiston auto camera. 28-mile-per-hour winds gusting again to 45. Air pressure falling, 29.91 inches of mercury, and tons of sun out there. Temperatures warming quickly. 61 in Winona, Rochester 61, Austin 63, and it's 59 in Decorah. So windy and mild today. Temperatures running at this point almost at the seasonal standards already. By the end of the day, we're going to be about 4 or 5 degrees above average. Not leaps and bounds above normal, but this is just the beginning of this warm spell. We're going to see mainly 60s and 70s all week. So conversely mild compared to where we were last week when we were anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees colder than normal, in 40s in some instances for high temperatures last week, when low 60s would be more typical. Sunny all week with September weather for all intents and purposes. Skies generally clear as we look at future track. High pressure gliding to the south and east. Now what's going on? We have an upcoming storm system, one that's generating some very light showers up toward the U.S.-Canadian border. The rain won't impact us. We're not going to see any rain today, nor will we see any rain the entire week. We're going to go an entire week without rain, but we'll enjoy warm weather. There's a tight pressure gradient, though. The difference between that upcoming storm system and the departing high pressure generating these wind gusts, and that's helping us warm things in a hurry with that dry air mass, all the sunshine, and again, all this warm air coming in out of the plains. 75, for instance, right now in North Platte, Nebraska, 63 in Des Moines. So you see what the source of this warmth is. It'll be blowing in on those mild winds and some fall colors to go with the September weather. So we're getting kind of the best of both worlds, that early October coloring, which is closer to that peak for the foliage coloring. 66 the expected high today with those winds finally subsiding right around sunset between 6 and 7 o'clock. Still this evening, a brisk breeze, but temperatures still at that hour not half bad, 50s to low 60s all the way through midnight. Dropping to around 50 degrees tonight, which is not bad for this time of the year, fairly mild. Then right back to the 60s by lunchtime tomorrow, and that's not where we'll end. We're going to get even warmer in the afternoon. We're talking 70s tomorrow, which at this point would almost be 10 degrees above the seasonal average. Another example of the really warm stuff. Weak front moving through, and by a week, there's not much happening here. Showers north of us, and the winds change direction. The winds will subside tonight behind that front, and then there's not a lot of really cold air. We dropped to around 48, 49 degrees overnight, and then another shot of warm air ahead of another storm system, and that's going to usher in more warmth. Plenty of sunshine, low and mid 70s tomorrow. Another front moves through tomorrow night. Heading into Wednesday, high pressure then settles in. Less wind, more sun. Not as warm as tomorrow, but no complaints. We'll be in the mid and upper 60s for the next couple of days beyond that. Now, remember this, we showed this graphic last week. That big dip in the jet stream was perched and planted over us, so we had to deal with that cool, unsettled weather. Well, that has all shifted back into the Ungava Peninsula of northern Quebec, and so for us, it's more of a zonal flow pattern. Milder Pacific modified air comes in, and for us, that means warmer than average weather. We see the temperatures as a result, mainly 60s and 70s for the next several days. The peak day, the warmest of the week, Friday, another breezy day, another sun-filled day, near 80-degree warmth. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a few 80s on the map. In fact, many of us will see 80s by Friday afternoon. Saturday and Sunday, not half bad. Low, maybe even mid-70s for those days. And it looks like the warm spell carries into next week, even Monday of next week. We're talking mid-70s. Not going on forever, but I do think through the middle of next week, we will stay above the seasonal average. The latest for the Climate Prediction Center does suggest about 2 more weeks of warmer than average weather, not necessarily 70s the entire time, but 60s and 70s, more than the typical upper 50s or low 60s you might see for the midpoint in October in the next week. So this will be remaining or on the warm side anyway for a while. 60s across the area today to near 70-degree warmth. South winds at times gusting to 35 miles per hour. Tonight mainly clear, not as cool, 48. And tomorrow another fairly breezy day, not nearly as gusty as this. So we're talking 20-mile-per-hour winds. 73 for our Tuesday, and the 7-day forecast all sun all the time, and 60s and 70s will be the result.
Wow, Ted, I was just so happy with Sunday and that beautiful sunshine we had. We actually sat on an outdoor patio